to find everything I need to do my work. So that means that she only was working really effectively 2 days a week, or maybe weekends as well, to catch up. And that was just, to me, was a shocker, right? I said, well, how can you stand it? I mean, this should be like 30 seconds, 3 minutes, or something along those lines, right? To actually do your legal work as opposed to do document searches and that sort of thing. So that's how bad we had it. And so we came up with a strategy, and we looked around, how do we implement this, and do we use WebSphere, we use a Documentum, what do we do? And so we looked at the time, the kind of a fresh release of SharePoint 2007. It was just brand new. And we said, I think we could do something with this. And so we put together this 4-pronged strategy, knowledge management be in the middle. And I'll explain why as we go along. Having one place where all of our information is, and then be able to then use that information in the other 3 areas, right? So the omnicell.com, which would be the corporate website. The other one would be our extranet portal, where we push information to our customers, suppliers, and distributors. And then the final one is pushing information all the way, more structured information to our internal business users through a business intelligence portal. So that was what we came up with. And notice the little highlight on blue on the side, which is knowledge management is the foundation. And hopefully that will become clear as I get through all of the other sections, because we wanted to avoid what we had before, where information lived everywhere. We wanted to make sure information lived only in one place, and that we had the vehicle for moving that information around. So, for example, if a white paper gets written, that goes into the intranet, gets edited and workflowed to approve it, and then becomes something that we can push out to our salespeople, and ultimately one button push to go to the extranet, and then that white paper now is available through the extranet as well. And then another button push, or maybe the same one, it goes to the omnicell.com. So then we can selectively say where do I want this document to live or be accessible from, and then have it in a single place. So that was really the vision, and why knowledge management became our main driver. So these are the SharePoint services that we use today, starting with document management. Obviously, that's the, think of SharePoint, you say, well, I have documents somewhere, and I'll make them available. So that's the first thing you think about. 2007 brought content management for the first time, right? Version 3 and 2 of SharePoint did not have content management. So you really couldn't do meaningful, rich websites. But with content management, you could do something like omnicell.com or any .com website, and really do it just like you would do with something like WebSphere or any of these content management type of environments, right? List management, obviously, and that's both a good thing and a bad thing, because everybody wants to, basically it's a flat table database, right? Just a single kind of a list of values of some kind. But useful for a lot of tracking, like issue tracking, problem tracking, deliverable tracking. So we use SharePoint extensively within our projects to track all of our deliverables. Sue, for example, in many projects that she's run, she creates a deliverable table, and then everybody goes there, and ultimately you can start attaching documents and that sort of thing. So it becomes a living deliverable database, in essence, throughout the life of a project. So we use that a lot, not only internally, but with our customers as well, which I'll share with you in a little bit. Forms, a big deal, right? So we started with one form, and then our developers are requested to create all kinds of forms, all the way to, for example, our first one was actually one of the most complex we built, right? We need the product literature request. And of course, they wanted to make it like a shopping cart, right? Where you want to select things, and basically you select it, you can select others, and it was quite complex, very elaborate. I couldn't believe that you could actually do that, but it works. Workflows, of course, for approval purposes, Excel services, the portal connection to SAP. So we have some SAP data that we front end with SharePoint, so that's certainly doable. And security, that's a big thing. My beef, and I don't know if 2010 does anything about this. There's clearly the requirement to actually segment a list by its attributes, right? So as you all know, the way SharePoint works, you can secure it down to a list, right? All the way down to an object, which would be a list or a library or a folder, that sort of thing, or even a document. But in terms of the attributes, no, you cannot, right? So if you want to say, well, I only want to show attributes 5, 6, 7, and 8 to this set of people and the other ones to this set of people, that's not there yet. So I don't know if 2010 brings that up, but clearly that's been one of the things that we run again and again from a security. But other than that, the security has been really good, and people have learned to be able to work with the security. So just to summarize, in terms of why we selected SharePoint, we view that it really met our needs in terms of a comprehensive platform, right? We didn't want to, I mean, we're a relatively small company, so we don't want to go and have 5 environments that we put together to do one thing. We were looking for the one thing that we can do many things with, kind of that Swiss Army knife type of a concept. And we feel that SharePoint certainly met that requirement. We had experience with 2.0 before, and so we felt at least that we knew a little bit about it. 3.0 obviously improved it, and we upgraded to 3.0, and we felt like, okay, that's really good. So we weren't just coming in totally from zero. We had some experience with SharePoint, which gave us an insight to take it all, if you would. Lower cost of ownership. So we also priced the other solutions to see exactly how much we would have to invest. And it's not just investing in the software, right? It's really investing in software, hardware, staffing, projects, on and on and on, full life cycle, and come up with an answer of, can I afford this or not? And we felt that SharePoint was, quite frankly, very affordable. We are a Microsoft shop as well, so that helps. So the integration with Outlook, integration with other platforms, that also was a plus. So I talk about the people. I mean, there are clearly environments out there that are very popular, and you can get talent, but SharePoint is one of them that you can find somebody like WineWire and help you get your implementation done. And as I mentioned, Microsoft, that was a key consideration for us to be able to do that. Any questions so far on what we did? Well, I'll get into details of what we're doing, but this was just an overview. Okay.